Alrighty guys, first of all, I appreciate everybody taking time to consider my Turbo S offered here on Bring a Trailer at no reserve. I know it's a lot of pictures, it's a lot of videos, it's a lot to kind of take in and digest. So I'm going to do my best to go through the car and kind of showcase everything, good and bad, that I know about it, and it'll help everybody make better informed decisions. So some of these auctions I see with the car, you know, the Porsches with the air suspension, they kind of split it up. Well, we're going to do one long video. We're going to do air suspension, we're going to do rear spoiler and rear hatch, we're going to do a walk around, we're going to do a light check, we're going to do a I'll quit talking, we can listen to the engine, and we're going to do an interior tour, and I'm going to do my absolute best to demonstrate that everything on the vehicle functions. There's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to actually see it. So the Panameras and the Cayennes, for that matter, that have the adaptive air suspension, they have a few settings. So regular driving, you have Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. Right now the car is in Sport Plus. I prefer it. I think it looks better on the lowest setting. I think it handles better, feels better. But maybe if you have you know, a back issue or something along those lines, you can go to the different settings. It's a little bit more forgiving as you drive. So there is a setting that not a lot of people know about, or that a lot of people don't utilize. I think the previous owner of this car did not utilize it, judging by the front bumper, but the whole car lifts up. It's called high level. I think the main design of it is hopefully you never have to get it towed, but if the car has to get towed, or if it was going on a trailer for transport, the idea is the whole chassis lifts up. Now I use it for more of an axle lift, meaning I don't try to take one of these on my driveway without raising the whole chassis, because I have a hell of a dip and I don't want to damage the front bumper. So here's how this is going to play out, just so we're all on the same page. We're currently at Sport Plus. We're going to go to high level, we're going to go to Comfort, we're going to go to Sport, we're going to go to Sport Plus, then we're going to go around to the back, we're going to demonstrate rear hatch, we're going to demonstrate spoiler, we're going to do a walk around, we're going to check the lights. I'm going to go up close to each wheel. I believe each wheel has maybe one or two minor imperfections. Nothing I would really worry about getting refinished necessarily. That's just me. Then we're going to go through the car on the interior, and we're going to call it a day. So here we go. Okay, so right now we're in all the way up. We're at high level. We're going to disengage high level and go to Comfort. Okay, now we're going to go to Sport. Now we're going to go to Sport Plus. I hope that made sense to everybody. All right, so now we're gonna go around to the rear. That great looking Porsche really knows how to make a rear end. All right, we're going to demonstrate the rear spoiler operation. Now, we can raise it, it'll go up and out. Now, when you're driving and you put it in Sport Plus, it tilts up about 10 degrees. Now, I tried doing this with the car stationary, meaning just like we're at right now. I put it, you know, in park, raise the spoiler, hit Sport Plus, nothing happens, meaning you have to be in motion for it to kick up. It's a cool feature. I wish I could demonstrate it. Unfortunately, the engineers had better ideas. Okay, so here's a question. Can you drive with the spoiler up? Yes, of course you can. I don't like to do that. I kind of like the car to do what it's supposed to, meaning comes up when it's supposed to, goes down when it's supposed to. So I leave it in the down position. It deploys when it's supposed to. I believe it's around 67, or not around. I think it goes up at 67 and then down at 35. So we're gonna start over here on the passenger rear. You can see all the lights are functioning properly. I did want to point out these rear taillights are not all foggy and crusty looking like a lot of the 970, the .1s, or even the .2s for that matter. I don't know if they were replaced at some point. They don't appear to be refinished. So I don't know why they're so clear. I just know they are, and I know that's a good thing. So we're gonna pop the rear hatch here. Well, maybe you can't do it with the car running from the switch. I've never actually tried that. So this is from the master window switch. I just opened the rear hatch right, where's my finger? Right here. So we can see we have everything back here that we're supposed to. We have the cargo cover. We have our subwoofer. Now I'm gonna show something here. So there are two functions here with my phone. Okay, so you can close the hatch, right? Like, obviously you can just close it. Now this is something that the Porsches with entry and drive have. You can get your groceries or whatever and close the hatch and walk away and the car locks. And you may think, oh, that's stupid, I'll never use it. Trust me, you will. It's a neat feature. So we close it right here. Wait for it to focus. She closes up. Okay, so we're gonna start back here. We've talked about the tail lights. You're gonna forgive the pollen. It's just, I literally cleaned this car, and by the time I get here to take pictures or do a video, the pollen's back. It's kind of insane. So we're gonna focus here in on the driver rear wheel. I'm sitting here looking at it. I don't see anything to point out. Maybe some of the finish down there. It's hard to see yet. I mean, there's a little right in this area. Again, nothing that I would worry about necessarily. We have a little bit of some road rash on the fender flare or the rocker flare, but that happens on these because it comes out. It comes out at a little bit of an angle. There's really no way to get around that unless you never drive the car. And obviously with 130,000 miles, we are going to have some cosmetics on this one. I think everyone expects that. So looking down the driver's side, there are no door dings. We don't have any scratches. Driver's front wheel looks really good. We do have a little chip there. You know, just minor things that you would expect from having this mileage. All of our lights functioning on the driver's side front. We have the scrape on the bottom of the bumper. Actually, we have matching scrapes on both bottoms of both bumpers. So it's symmetrical. All of our lights functioning on the passenger side. So when I had the intake off to do that coolant vent tube, I repaired so this line at the back, you can see those hose clamps. Those are obviously not factory. That is a plastic fitting that always crumbles on these cars. I repair it a lot. It's plastic, it puts up with a lot of heat. Don't know why I didn't use a metal fitting. So I go back there with a reinforced plastic fitting and I fit the hoses and use hose clamps so nothing's coming off, and it's good for another 15 years. Now here's something people may not know. You can put the hood on these cars in what's called service mode, which makes working on them awesome. Well, not awesome, easier. So that's the hood in service mode. So our right front wheel, really good shape. There's a little nicko right there. It's about the only thing to really mention on this wheel. Same thing on the passenger side. Car is super clean. As far as door dings, scratches go, nothing to really mention. We do have some dingos here on the flare, on the rocker flare, and some I don't know, I want to say sandblasting, rock, rock, I don't know what you call it, but it's just, just road debris hitting it where it comes out here. Right rear wheel, good shape, nothing to mention here. I did want to point out, it's silly, the gas door is not floppy. These brake, I fixed them. They are a pain in the rear to get to. I don't understand why they make it so difficult to get to, but I guess someone who is more intelligent than me designed it. All right, now we're gonna go to the back seat. Ooh, it feels good in here. We're gonna turn off the hazards so nobody thinks we're getting attacked. Oh man, I can get used to this. So in the back seat, we have these little cylindrical impressions. 1, 2, 3. I could not even begin to tell you what those are. No clue. It's like the crop circles, if anybody remembers that. So in the back seat, we have our heated seat. You can lock and unlock it from the back. And you can put up and put down the privacy shade from the back, which is pretty neat. So we have the privacy shades for the back seats as well. And everything functions back here like it's supposed to. Even the little ones for the quarter glass, which I think is like so nifty. That's pretty cool. So I did want to point out the headliner. We can see it's not falling down. This is primarily where it starts, is back here in the corners. You can see it's nice and tight. You look for those ripples. Biggest things, the two cosmetic issues on these cars that I'm seeing are the dashboards. The leather starts to shrink, and the headliners. Both are expensive and a pain. This one has neither of those concerns. And normally it happens on the panels closest to the windshield, because that absorbs all the heat. So I'm assuming this was probably stored inside in a garage. I don't have a garage for my cars, but I will be putting a the shade up on the windshield so it doesn't get damaged. Okay, so we're getting there. Bear with me, guys. I know it's a lot. So we're gonna go over to the passenger side, or we're gonna demonstrate over here that the seat works. That's about all there really is to show. Don't have a lot of problems with Panamera seats. I think I've had to fix one for the heating and cooling elements. These cubbies are pretty, they don't really have problems. Cup holders are not like the 996 cup holders. They don't really break. Of course, you don't really use that one. You're just going to mainly use that one as the driver. Again, we're going to take a look here at the dash. Nice and tight. There's one little like imperfection right here. I couldn't even tell you what that is. Nice and tight over there. No shrinkage. Really good to see. All right, we're going to go over here to the driver's side. Driver's seats, again, don't really have problems with these. So I want to take this opportunity to point out there is some wear on the seats. So this car, as we've discussed, has 130,000 miles on it. It is a really nice driver. It's a Turbo S that you can go out and have fun with. You don't see a lot of these with mileage on them. This will be an opportunity for somebody. So you see little, like there's little, you know, little imperfections in the leather here. Just normal what you would expect for a car. I mean, I think it looks way better than some I see with half the mileage. So there's like a scratch on the, where is it? I can't even find it. Right here, there's a scratch on the seat bottom. A little here on the bolster. I mean, just, in my opinion, this is everything you expect. Alright, so let's do this systematically, because if not, I'll just be all over the place. So the AC will freeze you out. It feels really good. Alright, we're going to start with the power folding mirrors. Check. Power folding mirrors, check. Driver mirror adjust. Check. Passenger rear. Okay. Windows. I've never had to fix a window on a Panamera. Okay, so we've already covered that the rear hatch button works up here. We've covered the headlights, turn signals, cruise control. We're gonna do our wipers. Hey, you see that pollen? That's crazy. Horn. Okay. Sunroof. So up here we have, you know, our dome lights. Turn them off. Oh no, that's the so you can do your fade, like your light fade out. That's your rear dome lights. Map light, dome light. Garage door, home link, whatever you want to call it, right there. So you can turn off your park assist if you're in, you know, like a Starbucks line or a drive-through. Oh, and it starts going crazy. You can turn it off. That actually comes in handy, more so than you'd think. So we have no vehicle messages. Info messages, none. And that's a really good indicator. These cars are really, I mean, they'll tell you if you have something you need to look at. So there's our Sport Chrono clock. I mean, so the Chrono, the idea behind this is if you're gonna go race the car, you can keep track of your laps. I mean, you could take this car to the track and you'd probably do pretty good in it. Will anyone actually ever do that? I mean, probably not. The Sport Chrono clock is cool. It breaks up the dash. It looks neat. And it is a functional clock. It's a setting, and I have it set to clock, so it'll go back to clock here in a second. So it's 5:02. So, I mean, if you want to time your laps, there's our tire pressure. All our sensors are functioning properly. It's good to know, good to show. So you can customize your display here. Some of y'all probably know this, but you can put all different types of information. I have it set to the most common. That's what I always put it at before I send them. But you can do, I mean, all this stuff, all this stuff, all this stuff. So many options. But these are the good ones to keep track of. You know, boost, coolant, oil temp, oil pressure. Good to see. But then you also have the analog gauges for your coolant over there, and then oil temp and oil pressure over there. But it's always good to have a, you know, coolant is like the most important thing. All right, so moving on to the PCM. Don't really have problems with these. There was that update a couple years ago with the XM that killed a bunch of them. Most of them have been replaced or fixed. I've never had to replace a PCM. So our climate, everything's good here. Heat and AC, perfect. Temperature, fan. You can, so this button right here, mono, if you turn that off, that just means that you can control the passenger side independently of the driver's side. You see now they're different. Now we're gonna make them the same. So you can, I'm OCD. If no one's with me, they have to be the same. It drives me crazy when they're not. Okay, so we're gonna do heated, and you can see the heated, I have the vented on right now, but both seats work. And you would say, how do we know it works if the lights are just lighting up? Well, take it from someone who's fixed them. If the lights light up, it's working. It won't light up if it's not functioning. It's just the way it's set up. Then you have independent fan air distribution. My wife and I always joke when we figured out Porsche had this, I always like air on my feet. She hates it. So the passenger, you don't need air on your feet. You can have it wherever you want it. You're like, I don't like air on my feet. Okay, problem solved. There you go. Okay, so we've covered that. We got heated and vented both sides. We have our Sport Plus. Pops up here on the steering wheel. I know this is getting long, guys. I know. I'm trying to go through everything. Sport Plus. We've already covered our suspension settings. So it will blink. The arrow will blink as it gets to where it needs to be. Once it gets there, it stops. And it goes away. Oh, okay, so we're good. So that's where I always keep the Sport Plus. So right now it's lowering. And then once it gets settled and the level sensors read where it should, then it just goes away. So this is that high, so this is the high level I was talking about. So I don't know if you can tell, the whole chassis is moving up. Now you can drive, I think it's like 4 or 5 or 6 miles an hour, and then the car itself will exit out of high level mode. So you can turn off traction, and you turn it back on. So we've covered the spoiler, we've covered the rear shade, turn on your PSE, and that's the stop start, which is completely stupid and nobody uses it because it's dumb. All right, so we're almost there. We're almost there. All right, so we're gonna start off by showing operation of the front beepers. So there's the sign, and we're getting up to it. So we see the beep, 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 beep. Okay, we're not gonna push our luck. All right, something I think is just kind of neat. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. So if you have the rear shade up, right, and you're driving and you go in reverse, they thought of everything. Now we're gonna back up to this wall over here. We're gonna demonstrate, well, we obviously see the camera working. We're gonna demonstrate the back beepers are functioning. I don't want to push my luck. Okay. That is good enough for me. No reason to back into a wall, right? And then when you go back and drive, it's pretty cool. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in high level. And I'm just gonna kind of demonstrate to everybody what I mean by it defaulting, like it'll turn itself off. Okay, so let's see where it does it. 1, 2, 3. So it's deactivating itself. I guess it was like 13 or 14 miles an hour, I wasn't sure. So it says high level deactivated. So we're right back where we started. So the last thing I want to talk about is that phone cord. I believe that is for a radar detector. I've opted to leave it. If y'all want to take it out, you can take it out. Alrighty guys, wow, 26 minutes. That is a long video. I hope people watch it. I hope it helps someone make a decision. If it just helps one person, well, then it was worth it. If no one watches it, well, maybe someone will watch it on my YouTube channel and learn something about a Panamera. So there you are, you guys. Really cool car. I've super enjoyed it, and I'm excited to send it to its new home. If you have any questions, by all means, please just let me know, and thank you.